this canceled.
Or pushed. Yeah.
Nobody's responding.
I didn't see you throw anything. I'm matching the bank now, and I have to upload the remaining from the bank. Remember I had to do that? Remember Rob told me to do that?
Yeah.
Hello, team.
Hello.
We finally get some warm weather up here. I'm sure down in North Carolina it's already warm.
Yeah, but we're having some bad storms today.
Rain?
Yeah, heavy rains. It's been downpouring for the last, I don't know, maybe 3 hours or so.
Yeah, I think that's heading our way. So if you can keep it down there a little longer, that would be great.
I'm okay with it because it makes the grass, we have like a different kind of grass down here, so it makes the grass super green.
Yeah.
And it looks nice.
Yeah. Got it. I am the last person, speaking of grass, I'm the last person in my neighborhood to not have mowed the lawn yet. So I look like, we don't quite fit.
I'm very meticulous with my lawn.
Oh, you are?
Oh, yeah. Ever since COVID, that's like been my zen.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Let's see if I have a picture, I'll show you. And I have my palm trees in the back.
Palm trees?
Yeah. Yep, I have 2.
They make it all year round.
Certain palm trees can handle zoning. So
Yeah.
These particular ones these particular ones go all the way to, oh gosh, I want to say maybe Virginia?
Yeah.
Windmill palms?
Oh.
Yeah, I am very, it's like a carpet. Oh, it's hard to see. I'll send you a nice picture when it's, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So how was the meeting today? Anything new?
Let me give you some updates. Not a ton of stuff for both of you. Sydney, you with us?
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right. We spent a lot of time talking about spend. That's going to continue to get mind share, and sort of getting it right. I think most of the feedback that we keep hearing is that I think what we're hearing now is a certain type of customers that would find it valuable, and some customers that won't find it valuable. I mean, I think big picture, when you go through all the notes, most people are sort of like, wow, like this is incredible. But I think the greatest question is this something I'm going to purchase? And there seems to be 3 types of buying personas. I mean, there's lessons that are going through. Seems to be 3 type of buying personas, which was interesting. There was sort of, Rajiv broke them out into 3 types. He's like, there's a type that's just always doing sponsorships. It's like the P&G, Procter & Gamble's, the Pepsi's of the world, like always active. And then he's like sort of complacent brands. There's like some big brands that are heavy spenders that only do like 1 or 2 deals. They just don't do frequent deals. Like they may have naming rights or just maybe on shirts. And then the 3rd type is like they sort of call it opportunity brands, like young brands that are up and coming and trying to do a lot. And so among those, those sort of the like number 1, number 3 are probably the best opportunities, and number 2 are probably not the right folks. So they're still learning their way through it. I think Rajiv has 1 or 2 opportunities that he's optimistic towards. But my sense is we get a whole bunch of feedback, and we're going to learn our way through this one. And then I think at some point, probably in the next weeks, we're going to start approaching our existing customers to talk about spend and get some feedback as well.
Did they settle up on like a price point for this?
So I don't know exactly where we are right now.
Okay.
So I spent a lot of theoretical time, a lot of time thinking about what we should be charging for spend, and what the model should look like, and then I think Bob was with Gary, was gonna talk to some of his contacts and get some feedback, and so I'm not quite sure where we're landing. I think most of it right now is sort of feeling where customers' willingness to pay. And then the big theme that sort of I talked about last time, it's in my head, is just ultimately frequency of use. And so I think when we look at retention rates, I think some of our small customers tend to leave us because they're just not frequent users of the product. And when we think about spend as well, it's going to be about, people like, this would be great when I'm doing sponsorships. When I'm not, it's not valuable. And so I think we as a company need to think about, just the patterns and behaviors of our customers, like how we can always have a product that people are continually using and engaging with. And I think there's many ways to think about externally attracting the right customers. And number two is how do we support in both product, customer success across the board. So I don't think we're quite there to talk about that type of stuff, but I think that's ultimately where we're going to have to think through.
Yeah, that's definitely key. It has to be a necessity, not an accessory.
Yeah, actually, good words. Yeah. The forecast numbers for May looks like sales was forecasting about, I'm just going to round numbers, about 280. The budget is 340, so they're thinking probably a little below the budget. April, they were a little below the budget, and so I don't know where they're thinking for May, but right now is for the trend for the budget. We'll probably be shy in Q2 is my gut based on 2 months of assessments, and then Debbie also gave a forecast of where they think net churn will be for existing customers, and that's I don't expect it to be greater than zero. The budget is zero, but my sense is it may be a little worse than zero, and so we'll probably be a little behind the May budget is my gut from an ARR perspective. What else is going on? Salespeople, Joanne, you're probably in a loop on this one, but they let go one of the international people.
Yeah.
Was that Femi?
Yeah, that's Femi. He just had very low performance, and if you look at him trending since he started, he really didn't improve at all. He was like status quo, but he did bare minimum.
Yeah. Got it. And then I think there's one, if not two other people that are on the wings.
Yes. From what I'm gathering, one of them actually is no longer, I want to say Rich Wigley was one of them, but I thought he was doing better, and they weren't, he wasn't a high concern.
Yeah. Got it. So there's, maybe one, maybe another that are sort of assessing performance. And then the thing from a budget perspective, I think the question is, do you backfill the people? And I think where the organization is anchoring on is, let's figure out who we have today, figure out how to get them productive, and let's take that extra money and reinvest it in areas that may be of higher priority, which is probably product, and meet the product needs to help support sales. And I think that's probably what ultimately will happen, is reinvest those dollars elsewhere in the organization and product. That's it from sort of key things. A lot of it's a sort of similar discussions each week. So, but those are the things that are highlighted in my mind.
Well, if they end up now, business development, I understand associates. Like for a while now, I think we've had a lot.
Yeah.
And some performed very well, and some were kind of like status quo. So I understand if we lose one or two of them, we wouldn't replace. But if we lost a VP, I would assume the expectation, given the verticals, we would replace the VP.
I don't know where anyone's thinking is currently right now on that one.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I think initially it brought it up. I know 6 weeks ago there were like performance isn't quite there, and now I've heard all different theories. So at this point, nothing.
Okay, gotcha.
At this point, nothing. Yeah, there's Joan. I'm interested if you have any gut. I mean, one of the questions that I'm interested in from understanding strategically is what is externally market driven versus what is internally driven. Internally driven is either performance, or they're also by verticals, or is it because of verticals, or is it because of product? And so, is it externally driven or internally driven? And that's something that I think I'd like to better understand somehow at some point.
Yeah, I always was very curious to see, because we are dumping a lot of money into marketing, and we never have done an analysis on campaigns to see basically how much we're actually bringing in, how much have closed, and
Yeah.
if these campaigns are worth it.
Yeah.
Definitely something for maybe Gary to probably look into. So
Yeah.
I don't know from
Yeah.
a marketing standpoint, but I will tell you there's a lot of sales, they get networking. And it's just been recently like in conversation, because now that we're segregating the sellers to their own designated markets, when they network and they know people, it's a variety of people. It's not necessarily all media or all property or all agency. It's like, oh, I know this guy, they would love it, and they'll do a referral, and then they'll all meet on a call together and build a relationship, and then they, go through the process.
Yeah,
so I do know there's a lot of internal relationship being built based on just knowing people and having conversation. But I honestly can't tell you whether or not how impactful marketing is.
Yeah. And when you think about how impactful marketing is, what specific things do you come to your mind when you say, here's the things they're doing, I don't know if they're impactful?
Well, I know doing like what do you call it? Those, gosh, what's the name? What's that technical term? The reporting that she puts out on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I know they did like a brief analysis of how many referrals they've gotten from that.
Yeah.
How many successful, but I don't think there's like a run-on tally for that.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see like us going to events, us doing specific campaigns, us doing these MLB reportings or whatever, like how much we're really getting out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Great question. It's sort of a great question that we need to better understand.
Yeah, because we're putting a lot of money into marketing. It's just, are we getting what we need out of everything we're putting into?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for that, because I really don't know, and I've always wanted to know. It's just we've never had the resources to do that analysis.
Yeah, I think just on the Gary front, I mean, that's one of the areas that he will be helping to support is the go-to-market team, call it customer success, marketing, sales, is to help them to do some of the economics, to understand the funnel, the churn, the leads, conversion rates, the forecast. So I think that's something for us to understand, and Gary can support people asking the questions and helping to get answers. I know I did some analysis. When I think about the economics of the business, there's a couple dimensions I think about. I'll go specifically to your comment. One is how do we look at the return on sales and marketing investment? Do we know that it's actually working? Mm-hmm. And so when you look at the economics, one of the metrics people look at is there's different ways to look at it. It's all getting the same thing. I always look at something called CAC payback, which is basically you're spending a bunch of sales and marketing money each month. How long does it take you to get paid back based on the new customers you acquire? There's other metrics, but they're all getting the same thing. And so, I know that our economics right now on that metric, we're about 30. It takes us on average about 30 months to pay back on the sales and marketing investment. World-class companies are doing 12. Mediocre companies get paid back in less than 18 months. We're at 30. So our sales and marketing economics aren't there. It's not horrendous. Like there's companies who are a lot worse. So that it's not big picture there. I think from my lens, I think the way I'm thinking about managing the company is the first thing we're trying to do is get the cash flow break even, as we talked about at the Friday all staff company meeting. The first thing is just I want to just stop losing money at some point, just to give us a whole bunch of flexibility. And then from there, then we can think about sort of optimizing different businesses, or optimizing sales and marketing economics, and dig deeper. But from a prioritization, that's step number one. But we're not getting the full economics behind all our sales and marketing spend.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And then I also think strategically there's a discussion of we need to talk about, like, is our best way of growth attracting new customers, or is it we got a great base in selling to them and getting them to pay more and offering new products? And I think it's probably a combination of both, but I think that's another thing that at some point we'll have to better figure out. Why don't I just do a quick roundtable just to go around the circle and get updates in terms of what's on everyone's mind. And so I don't know, just one of the things.
You really want to know what's on my mind?
Yeah.
It depends. Be a good thing.
It depends what it is. It depends what it is. Yeah, what's on what just from a work perspective and a priority perspective, or a business perspective. So what's on your mind? We'll start with you, Joanna.
So for the negative, I still do, and I understand we're trying to set a certain expectation. It's better for the business, but I still do not like the vertical change that we made. I think I don't know. It just keeps me up at night knowing that in order for our associates to make it right, they're doing things behind the scenes, and I know I got to get over it. The answer's already been put in my head. It's just still bothering me that it's going on.
Well, Joanna, you may feel vindicated because Raj approached me or just sent me a message that he wants to talk through maybe reshuffling the verticals.
What?
So you may be vindicated, but we didn't set up a structure where the assigned verticals will be changing each month, because therefore it's actually not assigned verticals. So I mean, we follow the model based on his best practice and what they want to do. So anyway, he's approached me. I'll hear more, and we'll have to talk through it. So if you're losing sleep, maybe you're losing sleep for a reason.
Well, yeah, because you knew I wasn't happy in the beginning, and then when I heard that they were starting to pay each other behind the scenes, and it's just like, okay, well, if I pay this guy something behind the scenes, I'm still getting taxed on it in my paycheck. But then in retrospect, if they have something, it's an honor system. Are they going to pay me, or are they not going to pay me? And it's just
has there been anything behind the scenes where people are paying? Is that happening?
Well, yeah, you told me that was the case, and there were 2 occasions that I know of that they couldn't remember. Was it Dan Ross or Jack Durkee? One of them closed. It was their friend, and they closed the deal. They went, and I was with Jack on a Friday night until 7:00 at night, and he even got them to pay that night. 100% Jack. Monday morning, it had to go switch to somebody else, maybe Sean Dotson or something, and then they got 100% commission because they are bored of them. To me, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. So then what I think happened was Sean had to pay Jack behind the scenes because we won't pay Jack because of the best practice.
Yeah. I think
to me, there's something not right about that. But
I don't think that was. But since then, have you heard that that's like a pattern that's happening behind the scenes?
Yeah. Anytime somebody gets a referral or they have a friend and it's out of they're the ones that can close the deal. If somebody's really good friends with me and they trust me, they're going to want to work with me. So I'll close the deal, but then they have to pass it on, and then they're instructed to pass it on, and then that person pays them. So I know it's happened a few times. It's just
a few times subsequent to that.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's the sales. It's like a different salesperson is helping to close it. And we established a comp plan, right, where 20% of the comp should go to a person? It's part of the sales comp plan.
We're paying full.
For
these instances, So like I had mentioned like a month ago when this all started, I can't see who actually did the work unless I'm a part of it.
Yeah,
I can only see in Salesforce who I'm giving the commission to. So if Cindy closed a deal, but it was out of her vertical, being told that she has to pass it to me, and I get the commission. I'm going to be popping up on Salesforce, and Cindy's not only not going to get the credit, but it's not going to go towards her goal.
Yeah, but we added something. I'm looking at the plan. We added something to the plan that says if you get an internal referral from sales, that they get 20% of the commission. They get 20% quota credit, and the person that closes gets 80% quota credit. And I think that we wrote that. I believe that I know we planned for that. I thought we wrote that on the sales plan. Now you wouldn't know it. Someone has to tell you it for sure.
Yeah, that's not on there at all. So I want to say I read Sean Dotson's yesterday and I didn't see it on there. Let me look at it again. I do remember talking about it, and then I was like, oh my gosh, this is another way. There's like 6 different ways you can now pay somebody, because we were gonna try not to do splits anymore.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we're doing a lot of, I don't know. It's getting to be a lot more complicated than I think it was originally set out to be.
Yeah.
And it's concerning, because then it's a high risk of human error, because you can pay one person out 5 different ways.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there nothing? Pull it over the plan. I don't want to waste anyone's time. I can totally read this aside and. Why don't you see? Because I thought we documented that, and I thought we documented that use case, and we said it's 80-20.
Let me look.
Yeah. No, I know we agreed on that, but I'm just doing it. All right.
Okay, so that was the first thing, and then the second thing was, Cindy had mentioned to me that we're changing how we code Espresso Tech. And just to remind you, Espresso Tech is our international IT company that we use. So I don't know if it's set in stone or what, but when we initially worked with Espresso Tech and we were doing the invoicing, Alan was a big advocate on this, and he specifically wanted certain lines or the certain time that's being put towards the product broken up in certain specific ways. And he actually had the invoices restructured to show some going above the line, some going below the line. And I know it's since changed. So I didn't know if you wanted to nudge Alan on that and get his feedback, or if this is already set in stone and you want to have it the way it's working now. 2
questions. How did we budget it?
We budgeted the way it was originally planned. So there's anything that's developing the product was on one line. Any questions or bugs is considered maintenance, and that's separate. So I believe right now, Cindy, which one have we moved now to developing? One of the bugs, the maintenance, went to developing, right?
QA.
Was it questions? The QA.
Question, yeah.
So I believe Alan initially budgeted for maintenance, the QA and the bugs to go to maintenance.
Yeah, so the product development, just so we go to the budget, product development was in whose department and maintenance was in whose department? Cindy.
So this is Espresso Tech. This is, it was operations, but I don't know what they did with the budget because it's under Arjun now. Do you know where Espresso Tech is? Subcontractor R&D, Cindy?
R&D, yeah.
Yep.
Is it all in R&D?
Mm-hmm. Part of it is in cost of goods sold, and the other part is like just under operation, operating expense.
And he did
No,
cogs.
Good.
He did cogs for, I believe, and I can double check, but I believe he threw the cogs part as the Q&A and the bugs.
Yeah. So in the budget, I'm just pulling that. So R&D, we put the Espresso development costs. So I see Espresso in there for $120,000 a month. And then in the budget, we put the bug fixes. Did we put it in someone's department, Cindy?
Department? It's just R&D.
The bug fixes. Did we put all of Espresso in R&D, or did the bug fixes? Did we put that in a different place in the budget?
Didn't Alan put that in cogs? You got to go into
Yeah, cogs. Sorry.
I believe the bugs and questions were under cogs, and then the development was under R&D, subcontract R&D.
R&D B9.
Cindy, do you still have that breakup?
Yeah, I'm
Like the
opening it up.
itemized?
Sorry. So I'm guessing part goes to cost of goods sold, research and development. What's that, GL? I can just pull it right here. R&D.
So the bulk is used. The bulk of the invoice usually goes below the line under R&D.
You want to see it? Oh,
Yeah,
shit,
show him.
sorry.
I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah,
'cause I don't know
of course.
why it was
So
changed.
cost of goods sold bugs, it's right here. 510000.
I can't see your screen.
You can't
Yeah,
see.
you kind of have two things open.
Sorry, multitasking. Right here. Right here. You see it? Hello?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, zoom it in. I'm old. I can't see anymore.
No, it's tiny too. There you go.
Joanna, you can't say you're old because those people who are on the call who are older than you won't feel so great.
What? Oh no, I used to wear glasses, so now I've done LASIK, so I had to constantly put eye drops. So this is the bugs for Espresso Tech, and the remaining would go here.
Okay.
So
you
these two.
budgeted, so it's all in R&D, and then when it hits the P&L, it's hitting broken out among the two. And then when we budgeted it, did we budget both those two things all as part of R&D?
Yes, as part of COGS, R&D
Yeah.
COGS.
Yeah. So that's how we budgeted it as well.
Yeah, Alan's been doing that for a year. Like, I want to say 2 years now.
Yeah, he's been.
Yeah.
He's meticulous about this particular thing, and like if you look at an invoice, like he has 3 lines and how many hours for each,
Mhm.
and then there's an actual spreadsheet for everyone's time and what they did.
And
Because
basically, he just took a percentage. He did 12%.
Cindy, can you pull open so the budget?
You want to see the budget?
No, I'm just trying to see.
So maybe
I'm
we
just trying to see
budget
with the
wrong.
Budget. 2 things. Where were what departments was it budgeted to?
R&D.
And then, huh?
R&D.
It
Research.
was all R&D. It was all broken R&D, and then you broke out Espresso among COGS and R&D, and so when you do the P&L, you have part of it hitting COGS. Okay.
No, when we did the budget, so it's taking a percentage. It's taking 12% what he put here. So part of it is in cost of goods sold. So this 15,300, it's here. It's part of here.
Line 9. Yep.
Yeah. So
And,
it's
and
taking.
I want to say the COGS for both of those lines per invoice ranges between, I don't know, 10 and maybe 17%.
Yeah. My answer is just follow the budget, and then just for now, just be consistent with how we did the budget is fine for now. So
Okay,
Why did it change to begin with? Like, what was the initiation of the change?
I don't know, Cindy. I was not on that call.
Because it was over the budget amount and cost of goods sold, and David told me to change it at the time. But quality, so QA, what does that mean? Is that bugs, Joanna?
Yeah, it's questions and answers in relation to issues on the product. They're not developing new product, they're maintaining old product. So according to Alan, any type of maintenance to a product we already have falls under COGS.
So we under budget for cost of goods sold. The
We
allocation
might
is
have,
not
because you did
12%. Last year, I remember it was
closer to
15.
17.
Yeah, correct.
So I think what he was trying to accomplish, and you can ask him, was their main focus this year would have been spend, so their bugs would be lower.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming, because he's usually pretty on point with his budget. But we can ask him. Do you want to ask him and see what he wants to see this year? Because he is running a lower percentage.
No, let's. I don't think we need Alan's input. I think just my comment is when you're booking espresso, follow the same mechanics that we use for the budget.
So take 12% or take it.
No,
on
we don't
bugs?
take 12%. We take it from whatever the invoice.
Yeah, each invoice is different.
Okay, and it's broken out. Okay,
Broken out, yeah.
as long as you.
Let's see.
So book it to the actual budget. Book it to the actual invoice.
Espresso Tech.
I would recommend that just for consistency. And we've done
Yeah.
that before. And if Alan really blew it this year, then he knows to adjust it for next year.
Yeah.
So it's like this.
Yep.
So
that line
when we
goes
break
to
it down.
R&D,
Yep.
and then
Right
So
here. This
2
is
and
the
3 are COGS, and 1 is R&D subcontractor.
Right. So these two we add together would be COGS. But it will be over the budget of cost of goods sold if we add these two.
the total invoice is over too, right?
Yeah,
Budgeted 120,
yeah.
So
So
That's
is
one
it?
of our higher ones. They're typically in the 80,000 range.
Oh,
okay. Right.
90,000.
It varies every month. Yeah, I seen like 90,000. Right, one time. Was it December?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you go back to that email? Did I send you? Okay, go to the first one.
This one.
That one. Yeah. Show
They
them
have a
that,
PDF
so they have an
too.
understanding.
They have a PDF.
Yeah, so they break up the hours and what they're specifically working on, so we have a good understanding.
See, they have it for
Yeah.
every month too.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So they break it down by person and what they do.
Yeah, we'll want this to support our number for COGS and
Right. So is it better to do the right thing to put it under COGS when it is?
Yeah, I'm going to say here's what we want to do right now. Just we're going to follow the same practice that the way we did the budget, which is
Even though it's wrong. That's what I'm
we're going
saying.
to do that, and then at some point, Donna, with the work with the team, she's going to be clearly coming in and in her role doing a fresh look of the P&L and how we book expenses, and with this entire team having a fresh perspective. And at that point, when you have a fresh perspective and looking at everything, we can determine if we want to do things differently.
Yep.
But until such time, let's just keep everything the way we're budgeting it. And so, Donna, the question ultimately for you is,
Yep.
It's not an Alan question.
right.
It's actually a
Fine.
Donna, Joanna, and Cindy question, but it's, what's the right way we should be booking it?
Yep.
And so this is an area you'll have to dig into.
Yeah, and so just to be clear, I guess on the line is that we want to continue to book it as is, so there's no real change in how we're booking it, and then there
Yeah.
will be a point in time when we go back.
Just
and
keep it
fix
consistent,
what
but we
think
just
is-
need to figure out what's the right to do it now. So that's just because
Yeah,
if
don't need to
if
worry
I'm
about
doing
that now.
one way and Joanna's doing another way, like it's just not aligned. So we got to make sure.
Yeah, we just need one definition And
Yeah.
then we follow the process based off of that definition, like what goes above the line and what goes below the line.
So what have we done January, February, March?
Well, we did initially do bugs and Q&A.
We
under
add these
COGS,
two under cogs.
which
Mm.
technically it should be, but Cindy just recently, you changed it last month, right? So you would have to reverse this.
Yeah, I changed
one
it
that you
because
changed?
David told me to change it for all 3 months. Because it has to,
So-
he wanted to
So
match
then
with
leave
budget.
it the same way that you did after you changed it to all 3 months. So then those 4 months will be the same.
So do the same thing following.
So right now, I know we talked about it last month. So right now, everything is in all those expenses you're putting in R&D. None of it is hitting COGS.
It is hitting cogs. Bugs is.
So just bugs.
Just
The
bugs.
last three.
This one, yeah.
Okay.
Just this
Yeah,
line.
but
And that-
Q&A should be there too.
Yeah.
For January, February, and March, all the bug fixes have been booked in COGS.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Okay.
And just
That's how the
not,
budget was.
yeah.
That's how the budget
Basically-
was put together.
yeah. Basically, I got rid of QA under cogs and went under. That's what you told me
Yep.
to do.
So
yeah.
we'll.
Yeah.
That's fine. So we'll continue to put bugs in April into COGS,
Mm-hmm.
and then at a point in this second quarter, we'll be able to restate that to have the QA below.
Yeah.
I mean into COGS. So we'll or whatever we determine to be. But for now, just put only the bugs into COGS.
Okay, so we're closing now. So I just submitted that into NetSuite. You
Okay.
don't want Q&A above the line?
No,
right now?
just bugs.
Okay.
That's what they were
Just
talking about.
bugs.
So yeah, see right here, it's like
So
35,000.
the Q&A, so the bugs the Q&A piece when we put together the budget, was the Q&A piece in operating expenses or was it in COGS, or we don't know?
It was in COGS, but we're going right now.
Got it.
I don't even know if you
Over
can say that
budget.
for sure, right? Because he took just a percentage, right? So
Yeah.
maybe in
Yeah,
his
that's what I
mindset-
said. Ask Alan, but that's how he operates. He did it last year too. He
Yeah.
put the 2 above the line because
Okay.
that's how he thinks. But I think he just under budgeted it because, like I said, I think we wanted to
Percentage is off.
spend a lot of the time on this for development for spend, and I think because spend is kind of like it took a little bit longer to get up and running. I think they were doing the other things to fix, like they were doing a lot more fixing than he initially anticipated.
Yeah.
Is he 12 for the whole year?
Yeah. So it's like
Yeah, he's
bugs
low.
is 26,000 for budget for April, and we spent over like 35, right? So yeah, see 35, and we did 26. So it's already over.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so just clarifying, January, February, and March, the QA you booked in operating expenses.
Correct.
Okay, you can just continue with that.
Yeah, and we'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, you can just continue with that.
Okay. I guess it's just an understanding for me. I didn't understand it. Just want to make sure. It looks like the 12% for 23 too. But maybe we underestimated.
I think we underestimated.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2022, I'm looking. I think it's higher for this.
But yeah, it sounds like Joanne said that they wanted to make an effort to move it all into transition more to development. Doesn't always happen.
All right. He didn't put a percentage here for 2022. So
Yeah, that's
interesting.
how he rolls. But see that, so it's the other thing too is like they do a want list, and then they realize how much burn, so then they start cutting back, and it's easier to do that with a percentage. So I bet you, because I think when we started the budget, their want list was like -7 million, and they had to cut back.
They have a percentage right here
And I-
on the spreadsheet. How come they didn't take it from here?
That's probably where he pulled from.
Oh my gosh. See, it's 25% right here. 16. I should have made 21. 18. 16. 14. 13. 16. So it's all over higher So we definitely under budget. Yeah. I was only 9% on February. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, 25%. This is right here.
Okay, Cindy, we'll use that turn over to you. What are the things what's top of mind for you over the next week?
Next week, well, at the
No,
moment, I'm uploading the remaining bank fees. So that's
So
happening.
this is the manual feed I was telling you about, David. That
I had to figure out which ones. So I finally narrowed it down, and it's just we have about 233 that I have to upload. I just uploaded
Why?
while we're talking. Sorry.
Rob can't fix it.
Well, we mentioned it multiple times. I still have an email thread I'm going to email out, and I'll CC everybody on it.
Who was the name that you used, Joanna?
Rob.
Rob. I mentioned to him yesterday as well.
What did you say?
He was going to look into it. That's all I got. But it was a short call.
Okay.
It could be a bank issue more than anything, and I have to evaluate that.
See, I highlight all the ones that I know that are good, are in NetSuite, and these are all the remaining ones. And then I just have to upload them, and I'll be done with the bank recs today, and then I'm going to work on the next thing is work papers. Expense reports are done, finally. Bookings of international and U.S. payrolls are done. So now it's just the work paper. I think I could just, this is the holding part. So fixed assets, accrual, prepaids, then we should be done. And then hopefully me and you can do a meeting and talk about it. What else is missing? Yeah. So that's where we are, David. Is there any questions? I don't know.
Okay. Just to state the obvious is I just need numbers for tomorrow.
Yep, I know.
Okay. Donna, updates on your end?
I'm really just digging into different aspects and trying to understand what's open on NetSuite.
Okay.
And where I can actually help out. And one of the things, Cindy, I'm doing is I am looking at the work papers to try to make that process easier. And I may not be able to get it for today, but I do think that's going to help.
Did you see my work
papers?
Yeah,
I'm looking at them.
Oh,
yep.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I update those on when I do them on the same thing. So like everything I do, like if you go in salaries, if you go in like fixed assets, it's up to date when I do it. Yeah.
Yep. Totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just looking at those and seeing where I can help. Basically, I'm kind of just evaluating still.
Right. So I'm hoping we can walk it together tomorrow. So that's pretty much it for me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Everyone enjoy the rest of the day.
When is your board meeting? Thursday?
Yeah, it's Thursday. Package is going on Monday, and then package is going out. We send them all the packages on Monday, and yep.
Nice. Okay.
Do you go somewhere for a board meeting, or is it all online, dude?
New York City.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So. All right.
All right. Well,
everyone have a good day. Thank you.
Thanks.